Week 2 of the Cape Cod Baseball League season is officially in the books. Your Falmouth Commodores sit at 6-7, which means it's time for the league-wide off day on Monday and time for the second episode of the Monday Morning Manager Show. Alongside first-year Commodores field manager Jarrod Saltalamacchia, I'm Ryan Martin. Coach, we're here after the 9-7 win Sunday night over the Chatham Anglers. 13 games in the season. How are we feeling?
I feel good. I think the guys are grinding. They're starting to hit their stride. A couple guys were bumped up a little bit today, so we didn't have them available, but that just shows how deep our lineup is and our bullpen. Guys will be able to do what we need them to do to get the job done.
Huge win today, a two-run win against the Anglers. It's the third win in the last 4 games on the season. It's been the best streak for the Commodores so far through 13 games. What's changing with this team right now?
I just think that we're getting more comfortable.
Yeah.
I think the guys are getting a little more comfortable at the plate. Pitchers are getting a little more comfortable. Everyone's starting to understand their roles. That's important in this game, is understanding what your role is and being prepared. And that's what these guys are doing right now.
You mentioned understanding your role, understanding how to make that lineup card 1 through 9. At this point in the season, you know who some of your best hitters are, the go-to guys. How do you balance guys who have hot bats in the lineup while also being, again, a developmental league? You don't want a bat to sit too cold on the bench for the long run.
Through the course of the season, especially when playoffs, you need everybody.
Yeah.
So, my rule is always to try and play everybody, every other day, and they just got off a 50, 60-game season. So adding 40 games, that's a lot. So I'm trying to save these guys and give them as much time as they need, but put them in position to succeed. And I think we're doing a good job. Like I said, our lineup is really, really deep. Yeah. So, it's good for me to be able to make a lineup, and it doesn't matter who we put in, they're going to be good.
You mentioned the lineup being deep. We saw that offense today in this 9-7 win against Chatham. Felt like that first real shootout win for the Commodores so far this season. What about this offense was you're noticing that made a click and get those 12 hits for 9 runs?
This one was more of a grind than we're used to. We've got some arms in the bullpen that are really, really good. They haven't hit their stride yet, so it's going to be pretty dangerous when they do for the league. But the thing for me I take away from this is we had lefties in the lineup versus a lefty starter who's pretty good, has pretty good numbers against lefties, and we were still able to put some runs on the board and have good at-bats.
You mentioned the lefty starter tonight for Chatham. That's been a consistent theme for the opposition for this team as of recently during this win streak. How tough is it, again, to just balance that lineup, especially when you got a southpaw on the mound?
Hey, you know what? this is a developmental league as well. So these guys are going to have to face left-handed pitching, So I'm not going to run away from it. We're going to find guys that, on-base percentage is good against lefties, and they're going to find ways to get on base. But like I said, I feel really good about putting anybody in our lineup.
Should be feeling really good, and especially talking about lefties. You got a lefty batter in Ken Schmidt, who feels like he's hitting his stride right now. His first extra base hit at Bourne, follows it up with a home run in the last 2 games. What are you noticing that's changing about him in the box?
Yeah, I think he's letting loose. He's not thinking too much. His swing is very simple. Yeah. He starts early, gets the foot down, so it's really just getting that contact point. His contact point's been really good the past few days, and we're just going to keep riding that swing.
Yeah, riding that swing. He's been a good bat, and 2 players who've been great all season. It's Caden Eschman and Micah New, who are honored by being selected to participate in the exhibition game when this episode comes out on Monday at Citi Field. It's the Cape League versus the MLB Draft League. Let's start with Caden, a guy draft eligible. When scouts are seeing him at Citi Field, what about Caden as a pitcher should they be noticing in his game?
He's an ultimate competitor. When he's got the ball, it's going to be a good night. Yeah. Obviously, we have pitch counts, we have inning limits, so I don't want him to go deep, but he wants to go 9 innings every time out, which is what you want your starting pitcher to do. But he's been phenomenal. It's an honor for both those guys. I think there's more guys that deserve to go with them, but they're only taking 24 guys, so those are the 2 they picked. I think is really good picks. It's unfortunate we're going to be losing Etch here soon because the draft's coming up, and I have no doubt in my mind he's going to get drafted. Micah could possibly get drafted as well. He deserves it. So personally, I'm hoping he doesn't. I hope he stays here. But, it'll be a great opportunity for him either way.
Talked about Caden a little bit, and Micah, just the greatness. We saw that bunt single that he was able to lug out. What have you loved about his game so far through 13 games?
He's just so dynamic. At any point in the game, he can put a home run, he could bunt, he can, leg out a single, an infield single. His defense in the outfield is superb. There's just so many ways he can hurt you, and that just makes it so much easier for me to put him in the lineup.
Guys, really hard to take out, especially out of that center field spot. Coach, 13 games in the season, 27 games, and hopefully more to go. What are those little things you're trying to pick up now, starting with that home game on Tuesday versus Bourne?
Every win's a premium.
Yeah.
every win is a premium, so you got to take it one game at a time. I tell all these guys that at midnight, that's when we're going to turn the page, we're on to the next night. So they'll get to enjoy this one, get a little light show in the clubhouse, do a little dancing, and then have the off day tomorrow and be ready to go for Tuesday.
Always a fun time in the Commodores' locker room. That's the second episode of the Monday Morning Manager Show alongside first-year Commodores field manager Jarrod Saltalamacchia. Coach, thanks so much for joining us again.
Thanks for having me.
The Doors off today on Monday. They'll be back at home hosting the Bourne Braves. First pitch, as always, at Gulf Fuller Field, set for 6 p.m. tomorrow.